Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
All and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's a pleasure to be in your company today, especially on a TGIF Open Line Friday, when you get to be my co-host and we talk about the week that was and what a week it has been. And so we're going to get to it in a moment. But first, let's throw out the telephone contacts and others, other means by which you can become a part of the show. And so here we go. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check us out on YouTube on our official channels. And speaking of channels, you'll find us on Cable Bahamas channel 974, or you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. And a huge welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it be here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, the Family Islands, and a huge welcome to all of you who are listening in from outside the Bahamas, especially. Welcome, 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 and welcome to all of you who will be listening or watching the show, listening to or watching the show a little later on by way of recording. So let's get some hellos in from our audience who's already tuned in on Facebook. Marlene Evans says hello, Michelle. Hi, Marlene. And she's also saying hello to everyone else. Dwayne Ferguson says, good afternoon, Michelle. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Hi, Dwayne. And Sandra Carey, welcome back, Sandra. Sandra says she is watching. All right, so if you haven't already done so, I know we just started, but like and share the show. Let's get this show on the road. Every Friday around these parts, we treat you guys as my co-host, and we get to talk about whatever you want to talk about within reason. Um, and we also get to talk about current affairs or items that have made the news as of late. And so, as always, I try to be prepared, and I have pulled some clips that can get the conversation started. But you don't have to wait for me to pull a particular clip. If there's something that you want to get off your chest or something that you want to discuss with your fellow, with me and your fellow GPS listeners, by all means, pick up the phone, give us a call. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. And if you're especially calling from outside the Bahamas or one of the family islands, definitely take advantage of the WhatsApp line. Again, that number is 242 8010271. 242 8010271. That's for anybody who wants to call without it costing you anything. You can do so via WhatsApp. We have our first caller on the line. JT, welcome to the show.
My apologies. Good afternoon, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Why are you apologizing?
No, I just did something on the end. I was hoping it didn't go across the air.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Michelle, I'm calling you for two reasons today. But before I do, I want to engage you a little bit, which is my second point for today in regards to the show yesterday.
Okay.
But my first reason for calling in today, though, is to congratulate Bahamas Air. Bahamas Air, for the fourth year in a row, was awarded by the World Travel Awards on the 26th of last month as being they won the top award as being the best airline in this region.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right, and you know, Michelle, we do criticize a lot in this country, and in many instances, the criticism is just. But I do say that it would be good for us to also to be recognizing the good things that we are doing and accomplishing.
Absolutely.
So that's why I definitely wanted to point out this award by Bahamas Air, because God says we give honor to whom honor is due, and Bahamas Air earned it, obviously, and they have obviously deserved it. So congratulations again to the staff and to the management at Bahamas Air. And of course, you and I, as the Bahamian people, we are the shareholders, i.e. the owners of Bahamas Air. So thank God for that accomplishment that we can be proud of as a people.
Let's all give them a round of applause. A round of applause.
Amen to that.
I want to say this about Bahamas Air. Well, we all know it's not perfect. It's not perfect. But let me say this about Bahamas Air. One of the reasons why Bahamas Air has such a good reputation is because they have some of the best pilots in the world.
Exactly, yep.
And I think one of the reasons why our Bahamas Air pilots are so good is because they have to take off and land so frequently based on our archipelagic country. And
right.
But another reason why you could trust our Bahamas Air pilot, if anything questionable going up in that sky, he is flying. You go wait.
I tell you. And see, let me tell you what that speaks to, Michelle. While these pilots, our pilots, are professionals, these pilots also, I believe, always think of the fact that not only do they have the lives of their passengers in their hands, they got their own lives in their hands.
True.
So that's the one thing. Hey, better late than never, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
So you bet right, Bahamas Air pilots, boy, that plane ain't going nowhere unless they are totally, absolutely, 100% sure.
Seriously, they are among the best in the world. Among the best in the world. You're talking about smooth landings. They're among the best in the world.
Boy, I tell you. So Bahamas Air, you earned it. Congratulations, congratulations to you, and keep up the good work.
Congratulations to Bahamas. And you're right, JT. We often use these shows to complain and about everything that's wrong. But when you find something right, you got to give kudos, right?
Gotta recognize it, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Now, regarding your show yesterday, Michelle, I am going to give a critical review of the show of the guest yesterday.
Okay.
Not definitely not to condemn them, but hopefully to encourage them to be a little more clear in what they are presenting. You know, I listened carefully yesterday, and two things jumped out at me, Michelle. Two things. They got so caught up in what this holiday meant and that holiday meant and the other holiday meant on the Jewish calendar and the Greek and the other calendars. I can't remember them all. That and let me say, I didn't hear the 100% of the show, but I heard a lot of it. The part I heard, I did not hear one thing mentioned as to what God is speaking to them about regarding the Bahamas. I even asked a question on the show. Please let the public know what are some of the things that God is saying to you folks, to this country. And you asked a very leading and a telling question that none of them responded to. When you mentioned the point about things being, if God has, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, if God has, saying all of these things about the Bahamas, how is that we got all of these challenges and problems and stuff in the Bahamas? I didn't hear any of your guests speak to that yesterday.
Well, I think they did sort of speak to it when they were talking about, in essence, you gotta vomit up the bad before you get to the good. I think that was their response. They didn't dwell on it very long, but they did say that if you're sick, you gotta vomit up some things before you start to feel well again. And they believe that what we're seeing now is that purging process that will lead us into the place of better. They did address it, but albeit briefly, but they did address it.
Now, the one thing I did hear, in fairness to them, is that God is He is going to be moving some things out of the way.
Exactly.
In order for what He, the Almighty God, wants to have seen and done in this country. And Michelle, I can't wait to see that. Because
I dare say it's already started.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, and I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, if you could please name one or two examples where you see God cleaning house or beginning.
I won't go there. Because that's going to be real controversial, and as much as
okay, well, let's not do that on air then. But
I'm good with that.
Michelle, we need to hear the Christian community needs to hear this. The people at large need to hear this. Because if the prophet is hearing a word from God, and prophets, that's why prophets in the old days were prophets, because they were the ones who heard from God, and God told them to speak whatever He told them to speak. And if God is speaking to these prophets of today, then they need to share what, with the country, what the Almighty God is speaking to them.
I think some of them are, JT. I just think that a lot of people are dismissing what they have to say. It's all y'all crazy people, and So it's not like it's not being done. I think people are just being very dismissive of what they have to say. And let me just say this. I believe that messages are being sent not just from the people in the pulpit. Other people have talked about visions that they've seen. I'm one of them.
Right.
And people dismiss you as, oh, yeah, here she go again. Oh, yeah. People are dismissive. And it reminds me of the days of Noah, quite frankly.
Exactly, the flood, yep.
Yeah. But people have, I've seen some of them myself and heard some of them myself. And the amount of ridicule that follows, people are very, very dismissive. So I don't think it's fair to say they're not trying to sound the warning.
No, it's
I
not
think
that
if
they're
we
not
listen to
trying
them.
to, Michelle. I mean, in the churches, these things are being spoken of. But I suppose what I'm basically saying, and most respectfully, is that it would be good if more of the prophecies of God, whether they are pleasant or unpleasant, need to be heard more throughout the country. I mean, in any event, I always like shows like that you had yesterday. But Michelle, I just need to hear more clarity. I left that show yesterday feeling a little perplexed.
Mm.
I didn't feel as settled in my spirit hearing that show yesterday as I would have liked to have felt.
Okay.
So because the guest got so caught up on the technicality, what this meant and what that meant, that I didn't hear them say, what is God, I didn't hear on the show what some real um, down to earth stuff that God is saying to the country when I was listening. Let me clear that part up.
Did you
So,
listen to the very end?
no, I didn't get, like I said, I wasn't able to get the whole show yesterday. I caught
Okay.
about
So
probably 55% of it.
okay. So go on and hear the rest of it.
I will work on that, and I will.
That may
Go ahead.
answer some of the questions that you may have.
All right, and I'll end on this note, Michelle. With Pastor Benjamin Smith. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, he's been on the show a couple of times.
Right. That's right. Now that you mentioned that, yes. I visited his church about last September, and he gave a word that he heard from God, and it came true in regards to hurricanes, that the Bahamas would not, for the near future, be hit by any devastating hurricanes like Dorian had been. That we may get brushes of them, but no direct landfalls by a devastating. And that was from what I heard, and I stand to be corrected, that prophecy was for the short term. I don't know if that's 3 years short term, 5 years short term, however long God's grace will be, but I heard that, and ever since I heard that, Michelle, I was paying attention, and so said, so done. Thank you for your time. God bless.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, JT. Let's hope that stands. Because as you know, we face a hurricane season every year. So Lord knows we need a break. After Dorian, Lord knows we need a break. I still don't think the majority of Bahamians understand how devastating that was. And it didn't help the situation any that the administration at the time tried to suppress information as it relates to how many lives were lost. I don't think we will ever know the true number of people who lost their lives in that storm. But that 200 lives they was talking about, that ain't no truth. I can tell you that ain't no truth. As of late, we've heard over 1,000 people. I think that's closer to the truth. But we will never know. We will never know how many people lost their lives in that storm. But having gone to both Abaco and Grand Bahama about 3 weeks after the storm passed, and the level of devastation that I saw, I tell you, I was traumatized for weeks after. That was no joke. And most Bahamians, I still don't think they get it. We have a couple of callers on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
It's Malcolm.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 quick points. But before I go to my point there, I might just want to touch on. I hear you all talking about prophet and false prophet. See, a false prophet can tell something that is true, but you watch his motive. You follow his motive, because all in Peter tell you, they come with great swelling words. Isaiah 19 and 23 said, God said, I did not send the false prophet, even though they come and speak in my name, but I did not send them. You always must watch the motive of a person when they come and tell you, thus said the Lord, and you follow them. You can put it on the shelf and just leave it there and just watch it and see. But now you watch the individual. See, the individual is the one who, when you see them, you say, oh, I see why he's saying this, because why? He's doing this or he's doing that. See, a false prophet cannot hide. You see? But my point for calling today, I see they investigate the deputy leader of the FNM. And I believe, and this was my cry out, not for him, just talking in general, that whatever this government do, make sure their I's and T's are dotted and crossed out. And whoever's under the rock, deal with whatever it is. We have to deal with it. That's why the people are crying out. They put this government in to deal with whatever wrongdoing they find. Now I know you can get people come and say, oh, it's victimization, oh, the witch hunt, and all kinds of things. I don't care if it's the prime minister's son or grandson. Bring him to justice or whoever it is. This country have to clean up. I don't care who it is. And that's the way it's going to be. Now I see they are dealing with the light. And thank God for the light. It's a big elephant that need to take down. I don't care if they bring it down by 1 cent. This light have to go down. And I see where they say that next month it can be reduced and stuff like that. But, Ms. Malcolm, I find it so wrong that some of the people who are crying out about this light bill, there are some people who have Airbnb. And because they rent these places and people have these lights and air conditioning on, now I know the light bill is high now, but here's my point. They have their air conditioning on from morning to next morning. And because of this, sometimes the landlord is crying out because why? The light bill, the person who they rent to, they run up the bill and it's so high. My brother has some apartment, and the gentleman asked him, say, man, please, man, let me put an air conditioner inside just a little hot. Oh, he said, okay, all right. He let him put it in. Miss Malcolm, when the man go to work, he leave the air conditioner on from morning until he come. They take advantage. And when my brother sees it, he say, no, boy, no, I got to take this out. You running up this bill too high, you see? And, and there are other common people who are suffering because they are trying to save the energy and stuff like that. But there are others who are abusing it. But I'm so glad where they say, well, it's going down. And you still, Miss Malcolm, is going to hear people crying out. You still are going to hear that because why? Some people take advantage and stuff like that. That's the reason why I hope if the government could only privatize this BEC and get this elephant, that somebody else could deal with this, you won't hear much crying. You will see people more concerned and considerate that when they go home, they meet light on, they'll turn it off. They meet light on outside, they will turn it off and stuff like that, And my last point is, this elephant again, is food. The government have to tackle this food. I heard the major chain them say, oh, we may be going up because of the gas and stuff like that. And we know they are up now. One bag of noodles costs $1 now. When noodles used to cost $5 for $1, it's $1 now. Okay? Either allow the cat to come back, that the people can go to the United States, bring the food back duty-free, or somehow allow the people to bring the food back duty-free, because the people are hurting this country. We are seeing the church And I say the church, yes, they are not helping because why? They are feeding the people on a lower level. Well, sometimes they'll call beef and grits and stuff. Why don't church don't take it up to another notch? Why the church don't come together, get a big building, and make it a big old rare grocery place that churches from everywhere that people could come and purchase and buy and stuff like that. And that's what I call you're really feeding the people, as Jesus said. Greater way should you do than this. So you will see the church and wall, but the church is not concerned. They're not concerned. All they're saying, oh, we feed our people sometime on Saturday with little quicks and stuff like that. But come together and get a big old warehouse and put the pressure on these major chains. Put the pressure on them. See, look at social
So you want the church to go into the wholesale business?
Yes, they can do it. Because why? Jesus said, greater work you shall do. I ain't do it. You shall do it, and you should do it through me. Come together. Why we always could say, oh, thus said the Lord. I hear the Lord saying this. I hear the Lord saying that. But you don't have no other vision that you really could get a big old shopping place to really help the people. Because when you look at social service, most of social service food slip goes to these major chains. And we could put a dent inside of that. We could put a dent in that the people, most of the people that goes to social service, about, let's say 60% of them, belong to the church. They belong to the church.
All right. Let me just say this, caller. Many churches out there are feeding the communities, but they have to pay for the food just like everybody else. And so if they are cutting back on what they give or how much they give, it's because they too have to pay. And I don't want you to think food prices haven't increased in the United States. The problem is a supply chain a problem. So food prices are going up because the wholesalers and by extension retailers are paying more. And that goes back to the supply chain issue problems that are being experienced in the United States. So prices have gone up in the United States as well. I'm not saying it's as high as here. Obviously, here will be even higher because you got to bring in the food. So now you're talking about the cost to get the food from there to here. So it'll never be as cheap as it is in the United States. That's just the reality of our situation.
It will not be.
We need to be putting more emphasis on, there are options available within country where you can get food a lot cheaper than what is being sold for in the United States. I often talk about it. BAIC, their produce exchange. That is one option. You can go there and get whatever they have in season at a fraction of the cost of what you would spend in one of the regular food stores. I do it myself. I shop at BAIC. I go to the farmers markets. I've been talking about starting my own garden. I haven't gotten around to it as yet. But people need to be encouraged to start growing their own foods, supporting local farmers. You understand? And only rely on the food stores for non-perishables that, your meats or whatever. And even that you have to know where to shop for.
Your point is taken, Miss.
I think we like to put the blame at the feet of the church for every doggone thing.
Well, who started feeding the people? It was Jesus who feed the multitudes,
But you have certain ministries who are doing that now.
Miss Malcolm, what I'm saying, yes, I agree some of the church feed the people in the morning time with the breakfast. But that don't come out from the church revenue. The people put together and buy those items and stuff like that. That don't come from the church bank account. You understand me? So all I'm saying,
Where you think the church money comes from?
the church money comes from the people. But what I'm saying, the church don't go to the bank then and say, well, we're going to get $500 from the church account to buy these groceries. That don't work like that. The people.
How do you know where the church getting the money from to pay for these things? How you can say that about all churches?
How I know? I won't call the church's damn name. I'm a part of the church, Miss Malcolm. That's how I know.
You're part of every church in this country.
No, I'm not part of every church, but I'm I'm telling you the way it operates.
No, that may be the way your church operates. That may be the way your church operates, but you can't say that about all churches. That's certainly not the way the church I attend operates.
Not mine.
Well, whatever church you're talking about.
I am talking. Hello?
Whatever church you're talking about. You say you're part of the church.
Ms. Malcolm, what I'm saying to you, there's a system that is in the churches. I'm not saying all. There's a system, Ms. Malcolm. They use the members and get the money to support and buy these things and then say, it's us who's doing it, Ms. Malcolm. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying all, I'm saying the church is taking up another notch.
I'm asking you again. Where do you think the church's money comes from?
It comes from the people.
Okay.
But why the church can't go on their bank account then?
Huh?
Why the church do not go on the bank account and stop telling the people to give an offering to buy some food so we could have breakfast then?
But how do you know? How could you say that?
I am telling you facts. I didn't say all the churches, But I'm not going to call these churches' names, Ms. Malcolm. I'm a part of the church and I goes around. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm
saying to you is you cannot say that about all churches in the Bahamas.
I did not say all. I said not all. I said that. I am saying what some of them is doing. And I find that to be wrong.
Say some churches, but don't say the church.
I said
when you say the church, you beating everybody with the one stick, and that's not fair.
That's why I said, Ms. Malcolm, some churches. I'm telling you the fact, Ms. Malcolm. All I'm saying to you, we need to take it up to another notch. The church, the union, they need to elevate the people. Get a big shopping place.
You said it again. The church. And when you say the church, you're including all churches.
No, but I
don't think that is a fair thing to do.
Well, what I'm saying to you,
churches in this country,
some of the churches, them, and we understand. When you understand when I say the church, but what I'm saying, some of the churches, them, and look at the union, they have all type of members. You tell me by now, they can have a big wholesale place at the union, gonna come and get discount of the price of the food and stuff. See, you have to invest in the people. Invest. That's all I'm saying. I know there's a big church in Chicago. Who this man? I forget his name. He own a whole their church own a whole shopping mall. Because why? God have shown them the vision. You need a vision. If a pastor don't have no vision, then everybody's perish. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, caller. I'm just saying to you that you need to be very careful with how you say what you're saying, because you're saying the church. And when you say the church, that includes all churches. And
some of the churches.
And I say that because I can tell you about the church that I currently attend.
Okay.
And see, what you need to realize is this. Many churches out there are doing much of what you're talking about. They just ain't publicizing it. They're not trying to use it as a PR exercise. So just because they're not out there calling the news every time they give or do something in the community, don't mean it's not being done. I am so tired of people trying to blame the church for everything that is wrong in our society.
Ms. Malcolm,
it's not fair.
I'm not blaming the church. All I'm saying, some of the pastors need vision. They need vision.
I'm not disagreeing with you, caller. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not
That's
disagreeing
all
with
I'm
you.
saying. That's all I'm
not
saying.
disagreeing with you.
You know,
But you know,
right
anyway,
now, I know there's another church in the United States. They have their own shopping mall. They have their own school. They have farm. See, it's not only just feeding the people with little grits and things in the morning time on maybe Saturday morning. It's another level. What about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? You see, so in other words, let's take this to another level that we can really be a blessing to these individuals. Most of the people that goes to social service, it's in the church. But we still come about this prosperity. We talk about this prosperity blessing, and we talk about the next thing and the next thing, and we still seeing the people living the same ways. Ms. Malcolm, that's all I'm saying. Now, your church may be doing different. My church may be doing different in other place in church. But I'm saying some of the people them are being bamboozled. They being hoodwinked.
Well, some of them won't be bamboozled because some of them know the church ain't the best church. They know and they still keep going back. So, you know, you can't beat all churches with the same stick. That is not fair. Because in the same way that you got bad pastors and bad churches, you have good pastors and good churches. Just like if you have good lawyers and bad lawyers, good doctors and bad doctors. And unfortunately, a lot of people get into, you know, having a church for the wrong reasons. We know they out there. Some of them is just a money-making scheme. I'm not disagreeing with that. But you can't make a broad statement like the church, because people are going to hear that and they're going to think you mean all churches. And that is not a fair thing to say. It is not. Because you have many churches out there who are doing a lot of work in the community. They just ain't publicizing it and using it as a PR exercise. But just because they're talking about it all the time, don't mean the work isn't being done. That's all I'm saying. I think we've lost that caller. Anyway, we may pass our break time. So let's go to this commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the week that was and anything else you guys want to talk about. All right? So stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Weston, Lux, fuel, track life, tough, rough racing, velocity, mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF Open Line Friday when we talk about the week that was. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271. That's area code 242-8010271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Also streaming live on YouTube. And you can check us out on Cable Bahamas channel 974, or you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device. Check us out there. Big welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it's here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, Family Islands. Hi, everybody. And also welcome to all of you who are listening from outside of the country. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Am I gathering from the previous caller that there are certain irregularities in the institution called or the church that really should not be there because they should be aligned with the scripture and they're not? Is that what he's just saying?
I think that is certainly the case in some churches. And my point to him was, you can't say the church without including all churches. So say some churches, which he did occasionally, but he always referred back to the church. And the whole point I was trying to make is that, yeah, there's some churches who are operating outside of what the scriptures would have spoken to us to how a church should operate, for sure. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that there are many churches out there who are doing a lot of good that people have no idea of. And yet they make this broad stroke statement about the church in general. And so that's the only point that I was trying to make. Now you go ahead and make your point.
Okay, no, I mean, I can stay on the theme with the church then, because you don't get this opportunity to go talk about the church.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to belong to a Roman Catholic church.
Okay.
And after I learned that the Romans were the ones who crucified Christ, I found myself in a quagmire, belonging to the lineage of a church that's responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Does that appear to be an anomaly?
Well, let me put it this way: the Romans were the government agency that was used. That they used crucifixion as their means of capital punishment. Okay, the Romans did. I can't say the Roman Church was responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus. The Romans were responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus, because that was the form of capital punishment of that day and under that particular culture. You could put as much blame at the feet of the Jews, the Sanhedrin Council, the Sadducees, and all of those who were the Jewish teachers of the day. They are even more so responsible than the Romans, because the Romans were just carrying out capital punishment. It was the religious leaders of the day who instigated for his death. But I want to take this even further.
Mm-hmm.
It was sin that nailed Jesus to that cross. So,
it wasn't the Romans.
No. The Romans committed the physical act. But the reason he had to be nailed to the cross, if you want to go deeper, was because that was a part of the plan to redeem mankind from the fall, redeem mankind from being forever lost to sin. So you could argue that it was sin that nailed him to the cross.
No, I could just accept that that's what you believe, and there, you see, you may come across other persons who may think differently.
Absolutely.
And we can still appreciate the fact that story, as it implies, is that without Christ dying on the cross, humanity would be doomed.
Okay.
Is that it? I mean, that's basically it from that perspective.
Okay.
There are other perspectives where you have to die yourself, and this life is your cross, and you should focus on that one.
There are other perspectives at what?
Well, I'm just saying the crucifixion story is centered around Christ dying for sinners, and if he had not, there would be none able to see the Father in heaven, because, he died for the sins. That's one story. Right. What I'm saying is there's another a theory or another belief where you yourself is experiencing your sacrificial move every day and you have to die yourself. And the experience that you should be looking forward to is your death, and celebrate that prior to it actually happening. That's another belief.
Okay.
See, so I'm saying there are different beliefs. There's another belief where some people believe that their mother died for them and know Jesus Christ. So, and these are different cultures with different beliefs. That's why we're so far apart from another, because we've really been in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, in India they bury the dead right in the room.
Say that again.
In India, they bury the dead in a room in the house.
Okay.
I mean, that's their culture. We ain't gonna do that here.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So we different. We different. We so different. Now, who's right?
Well, as much as the Christian believes that they're right, the Hindu believe the same thing, the Rastafarian believe the same thing.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I believe.
What?
You may believe something else. My belief is not based on simply a story that was told in a book, but my belief is based on personal relationship and things that I have seen happen in my life, from a spiritual perspective, that make me believe even more that what I believe is the truth. So, my encouragement to people who are questioning who is right is to study to show yourself approved. You do your own investigation.
Yeah, you got to
You
save
seek the
yourself.
truth.
You got to save yourself.
And if you seek
Michelle,
the truth will be found.
yeah, Michelle, have you noticed though that there's a custom in some churches where the pastor has to be in all the hot sun. He got to be wearing a robe and sweating.
They choose to wear robe and sweating. That's their tradition. But ain't nowhere in the Bible say you got to wear robe and sweat.
But now they're falling out in church doing that.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, see, the customs, some customs you got to leave alone just for the sake of you.
Well, what I believe in is not a custom.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, I ain't speaking from nothing what I read. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. It's and my own experience of spirituality and my own experience with the relationship. Because to me, it's not about religion; it's about relationship.
Yeah.
And I could tell you some things that I have lived through and experienced, and I know that, for people who don't believe in God, maybe you just haven't had an experiences yet. But I can tell you from my experience that I am convinced within myself that what I believe is true because I've had my own personal experience.
You have your convictions and you live in it. I'm saying now, suppose I am blind, deaf, and dumb. How do you and I communicate?
Say it again.
If I'm blind, deaf, and dumb,
how would we communicate?
There
are people in the world right now who are blind, deaf, and dumb and still communicating. I don't understand the point.
But at least we are limited to just being able to touch, right?
Okay, that would be one form of communication.
But I'm just saying now, if that's what they're doing, they are living a different religious experience when you talk to them about religion.
How so?
Because they can't see what you talking about. Let me tell you how so. It's only what
they may not be able to see, but they can feel. They may not be able to hear, but they can feel.
But they can
I don't understand your point.
But could they ever interpret the fullness of what you could say with having all the other senses? No, right?
In a different way. But that don't mean that they can't have an experience. I don't understand.
But not at the same level without all the senses, though. That's what I'm saying. No, right?
But that doesn't stop them from having an experience. It's just different from mine.
But the level of the experience is different. I mean, okay, all right then. Okay. Thanks for my call.
All right, thanks for calling. Thanks for calling. I think we have another call on the line. I think we have another call on the line. Yeah, caller, welcome to GPS, I think.
If you'd like.
Okay, we lost that caller. All right. The telephone number is again 3260271, 3260272. We're going to take a break. It's already 2:56. So let's take this break. And then when we come back, we'll talk more. And let me tell you all something. Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with no reading, no Bible. And yeah, I'm not saying that I don't read the Bible. I do. But I have had some very real experiences that I know you can't just explain away as coincidence. And some of them are funny enough that, I can tell you all a story right now. Real quick, I'll tell you the story, then we'll go to a break. Some years ago, I used to attend Holy Trinity Church, and there was a very powerful woman. She's now gone on, Susan Wallace. Many of you know her as a famous Bahamian author, she was a cultural person and historic person. But Susan Wallace was a powerful woman in the kingdom, in the spirit. And back in the day, she used to have these Bible studies at her house, right? When she lived here in Nassau. And I used to go to the Bible studies. But I was very skeptic at the time. Yeah, I was a Christian, but I was still very skeptic. So this one particular meeting I went to at her house, Bible study was over. And everybody got in a ring, holding hands, and started praying. And, and she went around the room and she started laying her hands on people and they start falling out. And I'm watching all of this. And I'm saying to myself, Miss, ain't no use to come over here because that's a bunch of foolishness. And I ain't falling. I ain't going through that because I really was very skeptical. Right? So she got around touching. And I look at her with my side eye saying, yeah, whatever. I tell you no lie. And I will never forget this. That woman came and stood in front of me and she never touched me. I think she may have raised her hand, but she never made contact with me. And keep in mind now, I was saying in the back of my mind, sweet girl, you might as well walk right past me because that's a bunch of foolishness. The next thing I know, I was out like a light from the power of God that hit me in that room. That woman hand ain't never made contact with me. And I was saying in my mind, that's a bunch of foolishness because I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe in it. But buddy, all I could tell you, when that force of energy that we call the Holy Spirit hit me, the next thing I know, I was out. And when I finally got up, I said to myself, oh my God. See, God have a way of showing you, especially when you think, yeah, ain't nothing happening for that. Because I was very skeptical until it happened to me. I could tell you some stories. I know years ago, I went to Cuba to have a procedure done. And I was staying in a house, an Airbnb situation with a Cuban family that believed in something else. And I went to go to bed one night and I'm just laying there. And all of a sudden, I felt an invisible force. I couldn't see it, but I could certainly feel it. It felt like I was being crushed by a giant boa constrictor. I just felt this energy wrap around me and was squeezing. I wasn't asleep. I wasn't dreaming. I was wide awake. Didn't see anything with my natural eyes, but I certainly felt that force crushing me. I said one word, Jesus, and I said it audibly. I didn't think it. I'm sitting there paralyzed from this force. And I simply said, Jesus. That thing lifted off of me so fast. It was like Sha'Carri Richardson when she take off the blocks. That's how fast that energy lifted off of me. I didn't imagine that. And those are just two stories that I can tell you story after story after story of experiences that I have personally had that you cannot explain away. So, to each his own. Some people will never believe. And some people will. I just encourage people who say, oh, there is no God. Go search him for yourself. And if you do a thorough, real search, and at the end of the day, you still determine that this is nothing more than a fairy tale, well, that's on you. I know my experiences tell me otherwise. But anyway, some of the things if I share on here, you'll say I spooky. I have had dreams that have happened as clear as day, just as I dreamed them. Ahead of time. I dream them ahead of time. I see some things in dreams that I don't want to see. And just as I dreamed that comes to pass. So all of y'all who don't believe, that on you. But I know what my personal experience has been. Beyond what I read in a book, beyond what y'all call fairy tales. I know what my personal experience has been over the many years. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Okay. But I can tell you, there's more to that than just a couple of words in a book. So, I don't know how I get into all of that, but anyhow. We got to take a break. Let's go to this break, and then when we come back, Lord, it's 3:03 already. Yeah, we got to take a break. Let's go to the break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about, I guess we're going in this direction, eh? I did pull some clips, so we can talk about that too on the other side. But stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after
Your
this.
body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklife, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Yes, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM on this TGIF Open Line Show. Michelle Malcolm in your company. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line is 8010271. You can call or message us there. 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Make sure you like and share the show. Also, you can check us out on YouTube And you can check us out on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. Huge welcome to all of you listening by way of radio, whether it's 99.5 on the FM dial here in New Providence, or if you tuned in from Grand Bahama or throughout the Family Islands. Welcome, 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 and welcome to all of you who are listening in from outside the Bahamas. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Forgive me for calling back, Michelle, but what you shared just before the break prompted me, so I'm going to make it quick since I've been on already. Michelle, I had a similar experience with you, and I also went to Susan Wallace's house church, cell church.
Right.
She was here in Nassau. And I didn't have that similar experience that you did. But you know, the experience you had, the reason why God didn't let her touch you is because God wanted to show you it was not in her hands. It was not her touching you. It was him touching you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he dealt with you that way. And Jesus Christ being nailed on the cross because of sin, as you put it earlier, it was sin that nailed Christ to the cross. That's not a matter of opinion. That's not even a matter of belief. That's a matter of fact. That's why Jesus came into the world to die. That's for that very reason, right? A lot of people don't believe that or accept that, but their lack of belief does not eliminate that truth. And lastly, Michelle, one night I was lying down in bed in the 90s, lying down in my bed, Michelle, and I felt all of a sudden, I'm on a solid bed now, all of a sudden, I felt when the head of my bed literally dipped down, Michelle, dipped down. And it dipped down so far, I felt like I was going to turn cat guts right out of my bed on the floor.
Wow.
And Michelle, that was a solid bed. But that's the experience I had. Michelle, all I did and all I said was, in the name of Jesus, get out of here. And the same experience you had is what I had. And they were demons. Those were demons that came into my room, and that was a demon that had attacked you. That wasn't just an energy, my dear. That was a demonic force.
I know.
And the moment I said what I said, gone. And peace, the presence of God flooded my room. You see, a lot of people will never understand and appreciate the fact that demons are real because a lot of people deny the reality of demons as they deny the reality of God. But those demonic spirits are real, just as God is real. As a matter of fact, those demons were once angels in heaven. But the fact of the matter is, in the long and short, I'll hang up on this note, is that demonic spirits are real and they do attack people. And anything you see called immorality is based, has a demonic spirit that's attacked somebody or attacked somebody's life. That when you see the name of Jesus Christ's name, Michelle, those demonic spirits don't have no other choice when the Holy Spirit is present than to go. So thank you, my dear, for allowing me to share.
Thanks for calling. Let me just say this, because I was in a a discussion about this about a week or so ago with some of my friends, and they were saying that they put a lot of blame at the feet of the church because the church tries to call everything as it relates to mental health as a demon, and some people just have a mental problem for other reasons, and that is possible. You could have some kind of chemical imbalance in the brain, and you fix that, and the problem goes away. But there are people who are possessed, and there's a difference between the two, and I think sometimes I don't know if it's a lack of discernment or just a lack of knowledge, but sometimes, people just need help to deal with mental issues that aren't necessarily demonic. And I do agree with that. But I just, call like coming to you right now, I just want to say this. It's like the wind. If you say, oh, that's a bunch of foolishness, I ain't gonna believe it unless I see it. Can you see the wind? No, but you can sure feel when it's blowing. You could sure look out and see the leaves moving, and you don't see what moving the leaves. All you know is just a force moving those leaves. You can't see it, but you certainly can feel it. So is the wind not real because you can't see it or you can't touch it? You don't question that. You don't question gravity. You can't see it. But you go jump off the water tower and see what happened to you. Just because you can't see it or touch it don't mean it's not real. But the force is still there. So, I don't expect everybody to get this because much of it is spiritually discerned. And if you're not spiritually inclined, then this going in one end, coming out the next. But anyway, we have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
What up, Michelle?
Hey, what you saying?
I heard it in glass.
Good.
And every tongue will bow and every knee will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, right?
That's what the word says.
Every answer you have, every question you have, the answer's in the Bible, right?
If you dig deep enough, I believe that you will find the answers to your questions.
Right. And gods of gods will bow to the Almighty God to confess that He is God, regardless of who you put your faith rest in it. That is not really, my God, because if you look at religion is a serious thing. That's why I don't really debate it, because people can stand and they stand, because there's plenty of things that show you that God is real. If you walk out to the beach, why doesn't the sea conquer the land? Something stopping that from coming onto the land, right? But if you dig deeper, the Bible says these islands will be washed away to the sea, right? That's on the religion side. That every answer you ask them, if people really read their Bible, it's in there. Now, I'm not there to convince you about your God versus my God, because that to me, that would be riding to me until the end of time. But a day will come where you will see that every knee will bow and every tongue will have to confess. You get what I'm trying to say?
I hear you, yeah.
Now, I want to move away from that. Let's talk about feeding.
Talk about what?
Feeding like the Bahamas, people in the Bahamas.
Okay.
Feeding, this poverty thing, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you if this makes sense. I don't know if you ever been to Germany before. I've been on a trip, and there's certain things I feel the Bahamas should be doing. You could go to countries and things that working for the country, for that country, you could try to apply it here. You agree with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of inefficiency here that doesn't have to be. We could be doing things a lot easier and better.
Yes, you could tap into what works for people. Now watch this. Do you know how much money if you went to Germany, anybody who went to Germany would relate to what I'm going to say right now. Do you know, pull it up, do you know Germany, not really right now because of the Ukraine and Russia war, but Germany really don't have a hunger problem? And people don't really understand why. And let me tell you, the first thing you do when you go into Germany, what you see, almost like the very, not only like the beauties, but when you drive in their streets, every fruit tree, do you know you could sit down and pick apples? You can relate to that, right?
Yeah.
You literally could we planting palm trees, this tree, that tree. Invest in the trees, invest in like apple trees, pear trees. So when they grow, you get what I'm trying to say? You wouldn't have this. Not only that, people would be eating healthy. You would be eating even healthier. You would. I talking about
Carla, we got a lot of superfruits right around here that I grew up eating as a child. Right now, you drive past some places and they rotten on the ground.
And what I'm saying to you too. The trees that they planting could be fruit trees.
Yeah.
The literary trees that they planted, these palm trees to beautify the place, could be fruit trees. You see what I'm saying? apple, orange, pear. It could be that. No matter where you drive in Germany, they fall on the ground scornfully, but you literally see people picking them, and that's fill, and that's a good fill. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Let me tell you something. When I went to Germany, I went there with the national culinary team for the culinary Olympics. Right, I was a reporter. I was at Ministry of Tourism at the time. I'm in their media department, and we went to go cover that. My cameraman and I. And the hotel where we stayed, every evening they would have these apples, these German-grown apples, on the counter, at the front desk. Huge. So I decided to try one evening. And when I bit into that thing, I said, oh my God. It was like I had tasted an apple for the first time in my life.
But I try to tell you,
that thing was so juicy and so sweet and so filling that I didn't have to eat dinner after that. The rest of the trip, my dinner used to be an apple every evening from the front desk.
And I'm saying, if you replace these palm trees and stuff, plant these apple and pears and bananas and stuff like that, and yet watch the health of your country. Now, another thing too. I'm not home, but I look at what people saying, and they always talk about our waters. Always. Do you know fish in the Bahamas is grow old and die off? And here's another thing that plenty people don't know back home. You have people that own restaurants in Atlanta, Georgia, is go on their yacht and fish in our water and come back and call it delicacy.
Yeah.
Do people understand what I just say? You understand what I'm trying to say? Government could invest in boats. Take the young people, show them how to fish, and then let them do their thing.
All they got to do is look at Spanish Wells. Spanish Wells is doing that right now. Spanish Wells got some millionaires because of fishing. That's all they do.
Plenty people don't know the money is in the water. The money is in the water. Watch it. Another thing too. All of these islands that is not developed. If you keep saying, okay, the Bahamas don't want to do this, and the people that give them a stock in it. Let the government invest in the tools to turn up our ground. You understand what I'm trying to say? Get into the rice fields. Get into the cocoa. There's a lot of fields you could get in because we got good grounds. You understand what I'm saying? If you serious about the thing, right. I'm not impressed with no leader that hasn't produced a plan for its country, but sitting back and telling you they go in, relying on people talking about, oh, we trying to bring film to the Bahamas, or we go in here and trying to bring this here. And that is behemoths. It's not a plan. I in Georgia.
I think that was supposed to be the original vision for BAMSI. Whether or not it's living up to its original vision, I can't say that it is or it isn't. I really don't know. But I think that
not even talk about take everything out the government on. I want to envision you something. Take everything out the government on. Go to them islands where them farmers is. Ask the farmers exactly what it is they need. And then even if they might still be thinking a little old way, you could upgrade that. You could bring scientists to check your soil to see what you could produce and what you could produce, like to say, to feed, like to basically compete with the other Asian companies and the other European companies that brings their stuff in. Because you have a closer market. We right there to the U.S. The waters, our greatest goal is in the water. Our water cannot be measured. We got fish that is dying out that our fishermen ain't even tap into yet. You catch what I'm trying to say? They calling that delicacy over here. Supply the fellas with the boat, wherever the money is, people will gather. Why you think when people open up a nice bar, they put the little manga skin girls behind the corner, the men come and follow that. You understand? It's attractive. You see what I'm saying? I sit here and listen and big up my hometown, but there's no behemoth behind that. Only the white people talking dead good about the Bahamas, but you ain't really seen it. The average person right now, when they come out of school, we throw them in debt with a bank. Go get a car or get a low-cost house. But nobody will tell them, look here, invest in a boat. Go on the sea. And you understand? And let the government open up this trade thing, or go to Spanish Wells and let Spanish Wells bring everybody into the loop of what they doing instead of keeping it both basically to that one little island.
Carla, I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old you are, but back in the day when I was a primary school student, we were much more efficient in terms of growing our own food. So one of the things that we had to learn in primary school was which island was responsible for growing which produce. So Eleuthera was the island for pineapples, and then you had, I think it was Exuma for the onions, and each of our islands had a different product that they were producing, and they used to export at the time.
So what happened?
Well, I will tell you, in a show that I did in another place, we were talking about how we did have a very lucrative agricultural sector set up. And one of my guests on the show that day was one of the owners of one of the major food store chains. And he said on that show, yes, that is true that existed, but a decision was made that once we decided to go the way of tourism, either he said it or a senior politician, a decision was made that once we decided to go by way of tourism, they pretty much shut down all of that and pushed everybody towards the tourism sector. So they made a conscious decision to pay less attention to our agriculture because they figured all of the money was in this golden goose known as tourism. And what that did was that shifted our reality as it relates to our ability to put a dent into feeding ourselves. So
we rely on one thing, which is tourism. They couldn't have split that. Let me give you all an eye opener. The petrol, which is inside right now, Saudi Arabia and Russia, they decide to pull back on the oil. I want you to watch how the world can turn. Saudi Arabia starting to move away from the petrol. That's why you see the BRICS dollar and stuff come. They starting to move from that petrol dollar, meaning they starting to come away from oil to develop another sporting identity, and they even building a new city. I want people to wake up their eyes. You cannot rely on one thing on what that disease that was going around, what stopped the world. That should wake up every government right now, especially the Bahamas. Every country, to me, especially in the Bahamas, should be able to feed itself. And not only that, we have the land, we have the space, we just don't have the vision because they refuse. I'm not telling you to come off for tourism. If tourism is a heavy market, but then you could see that, look here, we rely 100% on food. That's what we're spending our money on unhealthy food. I say plant the trees. Take up the trees which you have with beautifying it and plant the trees. That's where the little children them would go in the store with the $4 or $5 to buy the noodles to pick up an apple, orange, because they're dropping.
Carl, I gotta let you go because we have a cell phone call that's been holding for
All
a
right,
while.
no
But let me just say this. Like I said, we got a lot of superfruits right here, loaded with nutrition. And some of these kids don't even know what they are. They can't even identify them. And these what I grew up eating. One little Bahamian cherry, the native cherry, as small as that is, has more vitamin C in it than a whole glass of orange juice. Just one of those little cherries. But many children around here don't even know what that is. So it's just the will to go back to what we knew how to do because we did it before. But I got to let you go because we have another caller holding. All right? All right. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bahamas.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So I'm
Good.
in my car and I'm listening to the caller that you just came off the line from, and I am in full agreement with him in terms of, how we can better ourselves by, all of these natural fruits and organic fruits that's around here that's local.
Right.
And he also mentioned the government. If the government can help us, and if the government could do that, and it's nice and all, everything makes sense when you say the government, but we first need to have a government that cares for its people. And our past and our present government do no such thing. They could care less about the organic Bahamian people, because I have brothers who are fishermen, and my brother just a while ago for the opening of the crawfish season, he spent close to $4,000 to get his boat ready to get out and to buy stuff just to get out to try and catch a lobster. It was rough. You understand what I'm saying? And if you had a government that cares, that didn't want to just tax the poor black struggling Bahamians, then it wouldn't be so bad. Because if you give us a hand up, I am sure we are more than willing and capable and able to help ourselves. All we need is one little hand. But our government refused to do it. That's my 2 cents, Michelle.
All right. Thanks so much for calling. Yeah, you're right. Again, we did it in the past. We can do it again. But, what can I say? But there's nothing stopping you as an individual from saving seeds. You don't even have to have no big plot of land. Get yourself a couple. If you don't have a lot of land, if you drink a gallon of water, cut that gallon bottle in half, put some soil in that, start growing your stuff in that. We could be growing a lot more of the foods that we consume. A lot more. So it's just the will to do it. It's just the will to do it, because we did it before. All right. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue with our open line show. This is GPS. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM on this TGIF open line show. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. Not too late to get in on the conversation. The telephone numbers are called 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. The WhatsApp line for messages or calls is 801-0271. That's area code 242-801-0271. If you haven't already done so, like and share the show on Facebook, where we are streaming live to the Michelle Malcolm official page, as well as the Global 99.5 FM page, also streaming live to YouTube. And you can catch us on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. Alternatively, you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device. Check us out there. And a huge welcome, of course, all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, good day. Hey, good day, Michelle.
Hi, caller.
Yes, Michelle, what you think, but if we come together as the humans, right, and the government put a plan together, I mean, with the medical plan, whereby all Bahamians who have their birth certificate born, that they can apply, put in all their information, and say the government say, okay, then each Bahamian, working class Bahamian, will put $10 in the fund every Friday, and the elderly will put at least $3 every Friday. Every Bahamian, right? And if you want to, you give your card, a plastic card, and they'll digitize the system and separate the system away from NIB, whereby they'll put a department in, or whereby you as a Bahamian, no matter which island you on, you could go and put your $10 or put your $4 every Friday inside this fund. So when a medical emergency come up, you don't have to worry about doing no cookouts or whatever the case may be, because you know that you contributed to this fund. What do you think about that, Michelle?
That's what you call tax.
Hmm?
That's what you call taxation.
No, but I mean,
Bahamians could argue that they're already being taxed, and the money that the government is receiving from their taxes should go towards such a fund or whatever else it is. That's what you call the tax.
Yeah, but at the same token, Michelle, we have not done it yet. There's 400,000 Bahamians
live. I mean, that is recorded, and we haven't had a good medical plan to say cover. The majority of them is doing cookouts or whatever the case, you are doing a GoFundMe, right?
So I take it you not. I take it you are not impressed with the National Health Insurance Plan.
But that ain't work. It ain't working out. I mean, that ain't working out. As you can see, that ain't working out. It ain't effective. You know, if you going on a surgery for $50,000 or even $30,000, that ain't gonna cover you. You know that, Michelle.
Well, I know one thing. I don't think we could go back to the people and ask them to put in. Some people can't afford $10 a week. Some people don't know where the next meal coming from. That what you are describing is another tax. And trust me, Bahamians ain't be on that run.
Majority of Bahamians could afford a pack of cigarette every day, or a case of beer. They could afford that. So you telling me, for a person your medical, say like $450 private medical, $450 a month. You telling me you can afford $10 a week? Come on. And then Michelle, that's just society.
Yeah. Thank you for calling and giving us your opinion. But I can guarantee you most Bahamians ready to pull you with rock right now. Because what you're describing is a tax. And they don't feel that they being out overtaxed as it is. And now you want to come put on another one. So, but I appreciate you calling. Thank you so much for calling and giving us your opinion. Okay. I want to read a couple of comments from our WhatsApp audience. This one says, the church is destined to take over all the kingdoms of this world, and food supply is just one, but the leaders and people in the church are too busy competing against each other to make any real impact in this world. All right, that's a message coming in by way of WhatsApp. Another message says, man, Michelle, dispel this myth right now. Is the church the people or the building? The leaders are still purporting lies, and the blind leading the blind. What is the church? The building is the place where the church meets. The building is not the church. The building is the place where the church meets. The church, when Jesus was describing his church, he used a word that is ecclesia. Ecclesia means political organization. A lot of people don't know that. Like a political party type of thing. So the church is the you and I, the church is the people. And we are supposed to, why some people talk about being an ambassador of Christ, because our role as the church is to influence the territory in which we live. And influence it as a representation of the kingdom which we represent. That is the church. Some say it's the body of Christ. The people are the church, not the buildings. The buildings are where the church goes to meet. Okay? And I hope that answers your question to some degree. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm. Good afternoon, the Bahamas.
Good afternoon.
I listened to your show when you had your guests there, the pastors, them, and the bishop or whatever they was, and I listened closely. And one of your guests said, when the Lord come, He gonna swallow and let out all the germs and the poop and all that. Remember that, right, Ms. Malcolm?
He could do what?
He was going when the Lord come, He gonna let out all the germs, all the poop, the dirt, right?
I think you misunderstood him. He didn't say when the Lord comes. I think what he was saying is that before we see the manifestation of all of the wonderful things that they believe that the Bahamas are supposed to be, it has to rid itself of toxins first. It has to get rid of it has to vomit up all of the bad stuff first. And this is why we're seeing much of the darkness that we're seeing. That I think that was the point they were trying to make.
Yes, okay, on that. So, Miss Malcolm, he have to be meaning the poor people, and he have to be meaning the people the people that be, who have the power, who pull in the strings, trying to kill us with the food, the water, with the hurricanes and all that. So this bishop have to be talking about us, because who going to kill them and they trying to kill us? You know what I'm saying? They trying to get rid of us. So I don't understand that manipulating talking what he's saying, and I'm trying to digest it, but it can't digest, because the world and the people that be trying to get rid of us, Miss Malcolm, trying to get rid of us. And if he say I'm gonna get rid of he must be meaning us, because the people that be who owning the power all over this world trying to get rid of us, Miss Malcolm. So I don't understand what he's saying. All right, this
clearly you don't understand what he's saying. Clearly, because it had nothing to do with.
But you kind of understand what I'm trying to say, Miss Malcolm?
No, I don't, because I understood what he was trying to say, and what you're not expressing on the show today is not what he was saying. So you clearly didn't understand what he was saying.
Yes, you repeat it. I really understand. So if they're going to get rid of all the filth and all that before we see, they must have been in us, because the world trying to kill black man. The world trying to kill.
Why would you say that? Do you consider yourself to be toxic or filth, or why would you say that?
No, they consider us as that. The people who got.
He never said that. But how you get from what he say to what you saying?
No, not him, man. Don't twist it up. Not him. Not the man. Not the guest. I said the people, the power that be, who run in this world trying to get rid of us. So if they're trying to get rid of us, that speech what he just said, he have to meaning us. Because ain't no way there are people coming for them and they trying to get rid of us. That's what I'm trying to say, Miss Malcolm. You have a good day.
Thank you for calling. Okay. Okay. You had me a little lost there just now, but thanks for calling. I think I understand now what you're trying to say. And it's not just poor people that they are, that if you believe that there is a move to depopulate the earth, it's not just poor people. Trust me on that. Rich, poor, in between. It ain't just poor people. Believe that. You only got to open your eyes and see what's going on around the world right now. And rich, poor, and in between, dropping down suddenly. And no, it ain't just poor people. Believe that. Okay? You know, if you believe in that being an agenda and all that kind of stuff, you have a handful of people who believe themselves to be the elite, who determine the direction of the rest of the world. But it ain't only poor people they're looking to wipe out. So you're mistaken with that. Okay. All right. Let's see. 3:45. I think I have one more message from WhatsApp that I wanted to read. It says, "It's good to hear your spiritual convictions today, Michelle. We need to hear more of that, because plenty of people believe lies because they have not heard these things." I think a lot of people don't believe because they just have never seen the power or felt the power. And so you have a lot of people who are either atheist or have gravitated to something else. Because one thing I dare say is that the church in general has lost its power. And we could argue back and forth as to why. You're not saying the power within the church that you should be saying. And therefore, a lot of people think it's just a bunch of foolishness. But if they were experiencing the power that is supposed to exist in the church, then I think more people would be convinced that this is more than just a fairy tale. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, Miss Malcolm.
Yeah.
Don't get angry. When they made AIDS, when they introduced crack in '83 to the world, yes, it's mostly black. It's mostly for us, but they people gonna fall too. So I stand corrected. Not only the people, the rich and all that, they're gonna die too. Some of the white people, but mostly us. So I don't twist it. I understand what I'm saying, and I know what I'm saying. Yeah, they're gonna die too, but it's mostly us. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Yeah, okay. Marissa says that's exactly why we have to talk about our experiences. Yeah, people don't see no power in the church. So many of them turn into other sources of power. And there are other sources of power. There are. Anybody who would try to deny that there are other sources of power, you ain't want to be real. But that power compared to the power of the Creator, it's like comparing a firecracker to an atomic bomb explosion. But if all you seen is the firecracker and you ain't never see anything close to that atomic bomb explosion, then you can think the firecracker is the real thing. So I'm not denying that other things have power. Yes, for sure. But if you ever experience the true power, man, look here, you will be convicted as well. I can tell you. I even ain't touched the surface on some of the things I've experienced. I just give you all two little stories of what I've experienced in the past. But trust me. But a part of the problem is the people aren't seeing the power in the church. Because there are too many people who have gone into the church for a business. Or, many of them call themselves. Ain't nobody call them, they call themselves. And some of them need to find Jesus. Because you got plenty of them in the pulpit doing plenty foolishness. And it's unfortunate because people looking at that and saying, you're all Christians, the church, that's who you all are. And it's not so. It's not so. But the Bible itself says many will come and say, Lord, Lord, on that day. And the Lord will say, who you is? I know you. But wasn't I preaching in your name? I don't know you. We ain't never had no relationship. The challenge is, though, that people look at that, unfortunately, and it serves as a stumbling block for many because they see that and they beat the whole church with that stick. And it's not fair. It's not fair. But that's what people tend to do. And often people use that as an excuse. Oh, I'll never become a Christian. Why? Because this one call themselves a Christian and they doing this and the next. And I say, okay then, okay. You have experienced a bad doctor? You think there's some bad doctors out there? Yeah. Well, how come you ain't swear for doctors because you encounter a bad doctor? How come you ain't say, I will never go to another doctor again in my life because just one doctor was bad? That's all doctors must be bad. No? You ever encountered a bad lawyer? Well, how come you ain't write off all lawyers? Some people argue maybe you should. That was a joke. All right. But you recognize that there's some bad lawyers out there. But that don't mean all bad. Yeah, there's some bad people in the church. There's some people in the church doing the utmost foolishness. Some of them need to go find Jesus. But that don't mean that's the whole church. We have a call on the line. Call back of the GPS.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I listen to your show because the station. I can't listen. Why can I can't listen to your show, man?
Huh?
Why can I can't listen to your show? Don't listen to your
I
show.
think you can't listen.
You say don't listen to my show then?
Listen. I tell you, you can't change my show to suit you. So if you don't want to hear what we discussing on this show, you got other options.
But I had option. It wasn't another option on your show. Because I mean, the other show and things like that, that's so repulsive and tell it ain't funny, man. I just listen. Turn that station. Every time I turn that station, I think I have to turn it because that voice just irritates me. That's what he's done.
Well, just understand then that this ain't your show, this mine. Now on a Friday,
Michelle, why you like that? I know it's your
on a
show, man.
Friday you get a little leeway because it's open line. But you
And
don't
I
get
get
to determine what I discussing on this show. You don't determine that.
Michelle, you didn't say that yesterday, man. You beat me
No, just
bad.
in case you try come again with your foolishness, because you was run out.
You beat me like an ex-wife without beat a husband who like you.
Whatever. Sometimes you need a
You have a special beating for me, man. Michelle,
you
let me
sound
get
like
out
you
of
need it.
I beg pardon? I know you.
I say you sound like you need it, but anyhow, what you calling to say today?
Once you beat me, I'll be all right. Hey, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
You know, remember I tell you about 2 weeks ago, right? But the fellow who don't believe in Jesus, right? To be a good husband for you. Because you look at you just every day listen to you, right?
I don't remember.
You get
Remind
more
me.
angry and more angry and you rowdy. You getting rowdy. Michelle, you're a beautiful lady to be so rowdy, man. Don't be rowdy, Michelle. You're a nice person. Don't let that demon take away you. Rowdy every day.
Why is it when a woman speaks forcefully? Why is it when a woman speaks forcefully? Y'all say she rowdy and she miserable. But if I was a man, you would say, boy, he got some strong views. Why is that?
No, man. Michelle, listen to you. I know the tone of your voice. You say you don't be stressed, right? But every day you be. Michelle, you said a little bit, but don't worry about too much things, you know. Because things will happen.
Worried? Boy, I sleep good in the night. I ain't worrying about nothing. Worry? Where you get it from?
You get a full 8 hours, Michelle?
I get as much sleep as I need. I worry. You really don't know nothing about me. You really don't know nothing about me. I don't know.
You sound really rowdy, but hey, Michelle, you know, it irritates me, right? When women start rowing, let's get that, do something to me, right? Why women got to go in that mode, row?
Because we be talking to people like you.
Michelle, I don't like people rowing me, man.
You have a blessed day, yeah?
Michelle, before I go, right? You didn't answer the question.
I did.
The fellow who don't believe in Jesus, you'll marry him? Because you need to marry someone who don't believe in Jesus, because that makes you a good person. And I mean, I use a really good person. I mean, I'm this, right? But the way saying is, make you more balanced, man.
You ever hear about being unequally yoked? How can two walk together if they don't agree?
That invisible
How
energy.
can two walk together if they don't agree?
Opposites attract.
How can two walk
Male and female
together
are opposite
if they don't agree? If you going in left and I going right,
two people come at the same church and disagree. Allow two people to come at the same church, get married and disagree. Just when they get married, because we have put them together, you know. No man.
If you are walking to the left and I am walking to the right, how are we going to walk together? If you heading left and I heading right, how are we going to walk together?
Michelle, ideologically, like you need to have someone who thinking on the other side of the spectrum. Because if you don't have the rabbit hole of the Bible and Jesus, you need someone who in the world who basically could show you otherwise. Because the argument is always with this Bible every single day of the week, you know, not just their station, every station. Why does it irritate me? Why? Because guess what? They're caught up in the past too hard while the president in our face. And we can ain't doing nothing but talking about pray and all these other things. And yeah, Jesus don't come back to save us. And oh yeah, this is the place of God. We need to stop that foolishness, man, Michelle, man. We live in this life here right now. We need to live and be what we are. That's what it is, man.
Caller,
yes, ma'am.
Simonette, you have a blessed day, okay?
Oh, you know, Michelle ain't this is Simonette.
What you mean? How I know you're Simonette? You don't think I know who you are? Hello? He gone? Oh, Lord, I mean to run you. But you don't think I know who you are? I know who you are. Oh, he gone on that. All this time he thought I didn't know who he was. Oh, dear. So sorry, dude, but I know who you are. So, yeah. Okay. Ain't he laughing? Yeah, I know just who he is. All this time he thought I didn't know who he was. Oh, I didn't realize. Anyhow, yeah, you have a blessed day, sir. All right, one more break and then we out of here. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This is Global Radio 99.5.
I spent all kind of time putting all kind of clips in preparation for what we are going to talk about today, but clearly you're not on the plan, so that's okay. That's why I say you are my co-host. I want to thank all of you who participated in the show today. Thank you so much. Didn't go the way I was anticipating it would, but hey, that's what Fridays are all about. Until next week, God willing, I will be back on Monday with another constitutional class. I don't know what's going on outside my door, but it seems like they redirected traffic through my corner. So forgive all that background noise. But it's 4 o'clock. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Take care, everybody, and have a safe and blessed weekend.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily